Hello, Facebook Live.
Hi.
Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, I'm Megan.
I'm Tamara.
And we are doing a film called If Not Now When, and we are super excited about it. And yeah, so we just wanted to, tune in with you and see if you had any questions, and also to just address a few things and just give clarity and, get you on board and yeah.
And talk about it, give you guys a little more information that's on the Indiegogo campaign. We obviously we're not just fake friends, we're real friends, because we just laugh at each other all the time. But I wrote this movie because I really wanted the world to see these kind of relationships. So many times, you think of two black women and you automatically think fighting, and you automatically think not supporting each other and
competition, all that stuff, and that's just not always the case, probably more often than not. So Tamara wrote this incredible script. I read it, I fell in love with it, I fell in love with the character of Suzanne, and she obviously, Patrice, So it's pretty amazing because, we miss those films like Waiting to Exhale and The Women of Brewster Place and Set It Off, and there's just not a lot of those films made anymore, unfortunately. A lot of those films exist in the 90s. And, one of the things I saw on Instagram was people saying, well, we don't want any more women's struggle movies or negative movies about the negative things they go through. And this is not that movie. This movie is about authentically what are the things we experience day in and day out, not just as women but also as black women, and how do we share the story, not about the struggle but about the victories, about how you come full circle, about how sisterhood is so important to our lives and the very fabric of who we are as human beings, supporting each other, loving each other, crying on each other's shoulders, laughing with each other, having a glass of wine, whatever it may be. So anyway, that's the kind of film that we want to make, and we don't want to tell you too much because we don't want to ruin it for you when you actually do get to see it. But one thing that we did want to address was originally our goal was $750,000.
But we since then had some conversations with a couple of private investors, and they were like, okay, we'll be willing to give you guys a portion of it, just not the whole thing. So that's why we lowered our goal to 250. We pulled our own resources so that we can feel like we can contribute too, and 250 is the number that we are still missing, because our budget is obviously a little over 750. So even when we came with the 750, it wasn't the full budget of our film.
Right.
So we really wanted to clarify that and express, we heard the questions, why are you guys not paying for this yourselves? Well, we are putting some of our own resources into this.
Some of our own money and resources into this. But let's be real, if we had millions and millions of dollars, we would just make a bunch of different movies all the time, all year round. Nobody is actually in that position, or at least nobody that we know that's doing that. What we really want is for people to come on board and really support us in this process. If you care about these kind of films, if you care about the narrative that's happening in the world right now, what our young women are going to see, who they're going to think that they are, who they can be, or what they're capable of. If you care about putting something positive into the universe and supporting each other, we say to you, come on board with us, support us, back us, really have ownership over this. It's not just our film, it's your film, and you would be a part of literally being one of the catalysts to people who allowed for this to really manifest and become what it is. So we believe that God is in it, but we believe that we have to meet him halfway. And so we're asking for you guys to come on board and help us do that, and for it to be a joint collective effort of sisterhood, not just with us, not just the film, but all of us.
Yes.
Any questions? Questions? Okay, no questions yet. So let's see, what else do we want to talk about?
Takes place in Atlanta. So to all my ATL ladies, we are coming to represent your city. These four characters grew up in New York City as teenagers, and then in their adult life, they ended up in Atlanta. So everyone's like, well, why don't you, set the movie in LA? I noticed when I went to visit Atlanta, my family that lives in Atlanta, I just came back from Atlanta, hence the cold that I have because you guys are humid as heck right now. I noticed that there is just this conclave of different women of different socioeconomic backgrounds in Atlanta, and I thought that it's interesting to explore the fact that in Atlanta, you know, you have black people that are rich, and you know, Meagan's character is the more affluent of us. We're all pretty, you know, well-to-do in our own vein, the women in this story. So I wanted to show that side of Atlanta. I wanted to show, you know, not just the housewives,
right,
but to show like the different areas that Atlanta has beautiful architecture. So I wanted to be able to explore a character living in the Grant Park area or the Inman Park area, living in Midtown. So I thought as black women, Atlanta provided much more of an aesthetically beautiful place to shoot. We actually plan to shoot on location there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also we want to hear from you guys. You know, there's 2 other female lead roles, and you know, one of them was a professional dancer, and we don't want to tell you too much, like I said, because we don't want to ruin the story for you. But she was a professional dancer, and the other one is the one who's dealing with a crisis in her life right now and has a 14-year-old daughter. So who else do you guys think would be great to cast in these roles? You know, we tossed around a lot of names, and we've had some interest from some great people, and so, you know, we want to hear your thoughts on that. So when we're done with this video, please feel free to comment below who else you think could like round out the cast, all that good stuff. And then also, you know, there's 4 male characters as well. So like, who are the guys that you would like to see in this film? Who would you like to see me paired up with? Who would you like to see Tam paired up with? Who would you like to see these, you know, other actresses that you may have input on? Who would you like to see them paired up with? And, you know, who are the fresh choices and interesting people that, you know, you either see a lot and you want to see more of, or see them in different roles, or you don't see a lot of and you just think they're fantastic and you want to see them in something different. So again, we really want you guys to be a part of this process with us, and really have like input, because we want to make a film that you guys want to see, with people that you want to see, with, you know, a world that you want to see, and so your input is very important to us.
Where can they donate?
We have an Indiegogo campaign going right now, so we have the link that I think has been broadcast on the Facebook Live right now, but if you go to Indiegogo, and I think you can even search for If Not Now When, which is the name of the movie, as well as
you can go through our website.
You can go through our website, crazyactressproductions.com.
With a K.
With a K, because we are a little special. Yeah, crazyactressproductions.com, and click on our In Development page, and it has a link to our Indiegogo campaign as well. So that's our primary source of donation. So
yes,
you donate.
We don't consider. We don't like the word donate.
Yeah,
we
sure.
like the word support,
Yeah.
and the word back. And the way we look at it is like, you're a part of our family, and you're coming on board to make something happen that we all desire to happen, which is really kind of putting a positive narrative into the community about who women are and what we can achieve. And you know, you are contributing to that narrative. You are contributing to this pearl, this gem, getting out there and being an influence. And when we say influence, we think of it as everything that's made here is put out to the rest of the world.
Exactly.
And it has the power to influence, the power to inspire, the power to change the way that someone sees the world. I remember movies when I was younger, and we feel the same way. We're literally just seeing, you know, an actress do a certain something. I was like, wow, I want to be like,
oh my God, like I can remember, I still remember, my brother likes to remind me of going to see Higher Learning in the movie theaters. Like, I saw Boys in the Hood in the movie theater. Yes, I'm dating myself. I snuck in to see Boys in the Hood though. But I remember going to see Higher Learning, and it was around the time that I was supposed to be going to college. And I remember coming out of the theater in tears, and my brother didn't understand. He was like, he went and saw something else. He refused to go see Higher Learning with me. But he was like, why are you crying? And I was like, I was so moved by what I felt my world was about to become. And I remember telling him, I want to work with John Singleton. I'm going to work with John Singleton. After that movie, I'm going to work with John Singleton. Flash forward, my first studio movie, I worked with John Singleton. And I had to like try not to be the fangirl, but I remember those feelings of being moved, and that's what we want to put into the world. We want you to come out of the movie theater wondering like, wow, I feel this. How can I manifest that into my own life? Or even like, I want friendships like that. I want love like that. I want to feel what those characters feel, and those are the type of movies that inspired me to not only want to make movies, but to be in them.
Right.
So.
A lot of people have said Keke Palmer, Laura London.
Oh.
Did you say Lauren London?
Yep.
We were just
That's
talking
so funny
about
because I
Lauren.
literally, we just talked about Lauren because Lauren called me yesterday and she had seen everything we were putting up about this, and she had seen some of the other stuff that we were talking about women empowerment, and she was like, dude, whatever y'all are doing, I want to be a part of that because I believe in that. I believe in women loving themselves, respecting themselves, and really, I want to push the sisterhood movement forward. We should all be connected and doing something positive. And I was like, go ahead, Lauren. And I just love that she called me just to say that, and she just wanted to be supportive and wants to be involved in a part of whatever it may be. And so, that's our sister too, and we're totally appreciative to have her support. So who knows, maybe she will be one of the other characters.
They say Terrence J as well.
Terrence, all right. Well, you already know. Terrence is like a brother to me, so okay.
What else? Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut just makes me swoon. I know, I'm that girl. I geek out.
Right.
And like, I don't think I'd be able to talk about Morris Chestnut.
So this supposed to be, Morris Chestnut in the movie. It might have to be her love interest. We'll see if she can get her lines out. That would be a hot mess. That would be so funny.
Like, what's your problem? You wrote this. Why don't you know what you're supposed to say? Because Morris Chestnut is right there.
That's so bad.
It's so bad. We're such geeks.
Now it's on tape forever. People forever see it.
Oh. It's just one of them. I'm a little bit of a total fangirl. Like, they laugh. My friends laugh at me, especially the guys that these huge crushes on that they've all worked with, and they're just, they tease me religiously about it. But I can't help it. I've been a fan of Morris Chestnut since Boys in the Hood, and I just think as he gets older, he gets finer. Like, did you guys not see The Best Man Holiday? Like, yo, I still cry when Ricky got shit. I can't watch it. I cannot watch that. I have to close my eyes. I was watching it the other day, and I was like, why do I still get emotional when Ricky gets shot?
I know.
Sorry, side note. But yeah, we're total fans too. Like, we watch TV and movies,
show, everything.
like, probably more than the law should allow.
We're like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Are you watching this?
We have like text conversations at 1 a.m. over TV shows.
Yeah, we're like, did you watch the show? It's so good.
Yeah.
Because we're all about content. We're all about like, what is the good content? What are people responding to? What is like socially conscious? What is interesting? What's gonna like tug at your heartstrings? And so we try to be like really up to par with whatever it is that's going on, so that we're able to not emulate it, but to create our own authentic version of our experience.
Mm-hmm. And we watch a lot because we like to be inspired. Like, we're extremely inspired by what Ava DuVernay is doing. We're inspired by the fact that Issa Rae that trudged along, and when people told her no, she kept saying yes, and now she has this show that's coming on HBO that I cannot wait to check out. So we're inspired by other indie filmmakers, other people that look like us, that aspire to put things out into the world and are doing it in non-traditional ways. And we're not traditional on most things anyway.
We're not traditional.
So why should this arena be any different?
Pretty much.
But it's just, we want to be a part of that conversation. We want to inspire somebody else that's sitting at home right now that's like, I want to be a filmmaker, or I want to be an actress, I want to be this. And we both have had countless people tell us that we couldn't do this. I had a teacher in English class in high school that told me I couldn't be an actress and I couldn't be a writer. And at the time, I didn't have a lot of people to look up to say, hey, but this person is doing it.
Right.
This person is doing it. So I was like, all right, I'm still going to do it myself. I don't want some other young girl sitting in a classroom with their teacher telling them they can't do something. I want them to be able to be like, well, Meagan is doing it. She's an actress and she's a producer. And Tamara's doing it. She's an actress and she's a writer. Why can't I be all of those things? So, you know, it's another part of our legacy. Yeah,
it's really important. You know, I think we've all experienced that, people not believing in us. We know that you guys have experienced that too, and you know, we want to break the glass ceiling and say we can do anything. Period.
Point blank.
What about new actors that haven't?
We're totally open to new actors. That's like one of the really exciting things for us, because we always talk about this. It's like in this business, it's really hard to get started. You know, you can't get a job without already having had a job, and you can't get that job without already having a job. So we really, you know, it'd be fantastic to have some new blood in there, and people who haven't really got an opportunity yet, even if they're just starting out, whatever it is, that are passionate about this profession and passionate about the craft and passionate about what they put into the world. And you know, we're just open. We're looking for the best actors, rather there's somebody who's already out there and established, or rather it's somebody who's brand new and you've never seen their face before. You know,
that can just bring that energy to it. We're the great thing about going the indie route is we don't really have anyone to answer to. So that's the part that we were, you know, we had studios interested, and but their interest came with a bunch of conditions. It was,
you gotta do this, or you gotta hire this person, or you gotta do, you know, or change the script this way.
Right, and it's just
all this compromise that changes the integrity of the vision.
So it was like, we do it this way, we can say, hey, you know what, this person may not have this extensive resume, or this person, you know, may have worked a lot and then went away like I did, and came back and is just as talented as when they left. They just took a break, took a breather. If you know, and it's exactly. So it's like, why not give that person an opportunity, because because they don't have the most current resume, or they don't have this, you know, huge billboard on Sunset Boulevard, it doesn't make them any less talented. So with doing it the indie way, we get to do that. We get to put it into the world.
And that's the goal. It's like, it's not just on this film. Continuing forward, as we continue to make more of the films out of Crazy Actors Productions, we want to hire more and more new talent. We want to give a break for the little black, brown, whatever nationality girl behind us, and give them an opportunity to get out there. You know, the kind of opportunities that here are sometimes far and few in between, and really hard to reach, and are not always obtainable, especially if you don't live in California or New York or Atlanta. So
and not just that, also behind the scenes. You know, there are a lot of, you know, aspiring DPs out there. There are a lot of aspiring editors out there. Like our composer is this great guy we met out of London. Like amazing guy that we met out of London, who,
shout out to James.
Hey James, who reached out to us via email, social media last year when we were doing our web series, and almost 2 years ago now, doing our web series, and offered to do music for us because he wanted the opportunity to show his work. Well, we fell in love with him, and we're like, you know, you're our composer for life now, because unless you don't want to work with us, but that's the kind of relationships that we want to cultivate. We want to be able to say, all right, we want to take this person with us as we travel up, just because someone had to do it for us. Right. And I look at the inspiration behind that is like the Spike Lee. When Spike Lee was coming up, he had the same crew. He had the same people that started with him on She's Gotta Have It and kept going. And that's important to us. Loyalty is important. So we're all about sorry for my cold.
What is the age limit for new actresses?
There really isn't any, but on this particular project, the female lead characters are between the ages, I'd say, of maybe 27 to 35, right?
Yeah, they're in their early 30s, because, like we said, one of the characters has a 14-year-old daughter, and
and that too, for a 14-year-old daughter, we're looking for somebody in that age range.
We're definitely looking for someone that can play 14, and we're also we all went to high school together. That's a part of the
So we
story.
all need to feel the same age.
Yeah, and as long as, you know, we're not really sticklers on your actual age, because obviously
Right.
we don't necessarily play our actual age, but as long as they look within our spectrum, and then
Right.
there is a role of an older woman that
Right.
helps the woman that's in the crisis through her crisis.
Right.
So
And then the men are a little bit more, you know.
it's a little more flexible with
Yeah,
that.
and we also, for one character, we're really open to being a different nationality. So, you know, the guys could be maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. We want it to be the same age
Yeah,
range for
definitely.
the most part.
Yeah.
But you know, we're open.
Where can they audition?
We haven't announced
Starting
those
audition
yet.
yet. We have to raise the money first.
Yeah.
So once we raise the money, then we'll be able to put out a way where if you're not here, that you can actually send in your tape.
Yeah, once we hire a casting director, which comes after we
Right.
hire the money, raise the money,
Raise the money.
and then we hire a casting director, and then the audition process begins. But we're not gonna be like, you know, some people where it's like, well, I want to audition, and you never get a chance to, you
Right.
know, if you know, we're gonna make sure that the new people that, like we spoke about, get the opportunity to audition.
Right. Let's see, what else shall we talk about? Well, we can tell you about how Tam and I met. I don't remember what the audition was for.
I do.
What was it?
Wait, the very, very, very first time I met you guys, this isn't the time when we like actually became friends, but the very, very first time I met them, it was me, her, and her sister, Lamaya, at this audition for a commercial. I have the best memory in the world, just FYI. I'm not a weirdo, I just
I have the
remember
second best.
everything. So we're at this audition, and back in the day, I don't know if they still do this for commercial auditions, but they would ask you if you're over 18 or under 18. The reason for it is because if you're over 18, you don't need a set tutor. There are no limits to how many hours you can work. So the benefit used to be if you were over 18 and you looked young. Well, hence we did that. So we're at this audition, and it's like me, I think it was Lamaya was next, and Meagan was next. And the casting director was like, okay, say your name, because in the commercials you're all going together. She's like, say your name and say your age, and I, you know, they come down, they do theirs. I'm Meagan Good, and she says how old she is. Lamaya says how old she is. And it comes to me, and I was like, and I'm 19.
And everyone
like, what? And they're like, what in the world? They're like, you're what? I was like, I'm 19, and they just could not get over it. So I think we saw each other after that. We finally exchanged numbers, and then like the next time we saw each other, we hung out.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like, hey mom, I'm gonna go home with Tamara. See you later.
and
And then went home with her, and I was there for a few days. And
19 years later, here we
I
are.
remember the first time I got you to press your hair.
Oh my god! So I used to have really long hair, really straight hair, and she convinced me that I could press my own hair. This is before I
used to press
actually
my hair.
like learned how to press it. Taraji actually taught me how the proper way to press and flat iron
That's
my
right.
hair, because Taraji refused to ever do my hair again because I had a lot of hair.
And this is like back in the day when like the pressing combs were like the plug-in ones. It was like the one that you actually put it in the little oven or like put it on the stove.
And I burnt out the front of my hair.
She burnt out the front of
Like
her
it
hair.
was like just golden right
It was
here.
like bronze
So
and like a little
bad.
hole. And so her hairdresser was like mad at me. I never even met her hairdresser. She's like, don't let your friend talk you into that anymore. What
Yeah,
are you
like I
doing?
tried to hide it. So it's like our friendship and what we're trying to put into the world is this is us. Like, this is who we are. We have stories like that for days and days and days. Like sometimes we have to like look at each other before we tell a story. Like, don't tell that one.
Right.
That's not appropriate for a mixed company because that's how much we like to say we grew up together. Like every monumental thing in our lives.
Most of our firsts, we've known each other and talked about them. And
Like everything, like, you know, anything. I remember when I tried to be a smoker for like a day, but when you have respiratory allergies and really like you can't breathe most of the time, she was who I told, like, I tried to smoke. I think she laughed for like 20 minutes, but that's how, like, and in the bad times, like, she's who I call when things go wrong, or when I just need someone to tell me that everything is going to be okay. Like, we've seen each other at our worst, and we've seen each other at our best, and this is this is what we hope to show the world, to put it out there. Like, these kind of relationships exist. Like, I mean, I tell all the time, we have now been in each other's lives for half of my life, so just longer than most marriages.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah, so we stuck. Like, there's no divorce. There is no, I'm not your friend anymore. There's no, we're not sisters anymore. Like, we are stuck for life. So this is what you get. And when you have relationships like that, you're allowed to be your true self, yourself. Like, even when it's, you know, I mean, we piss each other off. We get mad at each other, and it's like, okay, you over it? Because I'm over it now. I'm hungry. You want to go eat? So, oh, you need a couple more days? Cool, I'll see you in a couple of days. Let me know when you're done.
Fine.
You'll be fine.
Get over it.
So, you know, that's who we really, truly are.
Yeah.
You want to ask if there's more questions again? I kind of want.
Oh yeah, does anyone have any questions, any more thoughts?
Any comments?
Anything?
Anything. I've never done one of these things before, so
Right.
this is all kind of interesting and
Quite
weird.
interesting. But also, you know, if you're not on right now and you see this later, please feel free to leave comments underneath, and we will come back next week and we will do a new one, and it will be about other stuff, and we will answer all of your questions, and we will make sure that you feel completely looped in and you have all the clarity that you want. And yeah, I mean, I think, shall we wrap it up?
People love your hair.
Ah,
That you've gotten a lot of comments on your hair.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it too.
Thank
I
you.
think I sat here when it was being done.
She did. It was, listen, this time it took 9 hours. The first time when it was on like both sides, it took 12 hours. But let me tell you why it's so worth it, and this is so not about the subject, but it's a protective stop, so my hair has only grown while I've had it. Also, for as many hours as it took to do, shout out to Dr. Carrie Will. You can go to her page, you can get the tutorial and see how to do it. You can also get the full package of the hair from his and hers. But yeah, for as long as it took to do it, it lasts for like 4 months, and it's so easy, and I never have to do anything. Like, I've literally taken off the time that it takes me to get ready. Whenever I actually do get ready, like ready, I just totally cut my hair time off of it. Like, I don't have to worry about it at all. I can throw it in a bun, I can throw it in a pony, I can wear it down, and I just throw it in a silk scarf at night, and it's the easiest thing, and it's made me so happy, and I feel like I'm gonna wear it for a really long time. And so shout out to Dr. Carrie for helping me bring the vision to life that I had in my head, which was, I had seen a lot of great dreads, but I really loved Lisa Bonet's dreads because of how natural they look. And those dreads had not really existed outside of Lisa Bonet, at least not in anybody that we knew like that. And she figured out how to make fox locks like that, or faux locks like that.
Full locks.
I'm really, like most people, I'd be like, oh, the gist of it is. She's like, the gist of it is. So yeah, welcome to my life between her and Devon. Anywho, so yeah,
I'm the grammar
thank you.
police.
She's the grammar police. So yeah, so thanks guys for everything. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. And again, leave your questions and comments, and we will answer them. And we hope that you come on board to help put something incredible into the world and into the communities, and for these young girls and for us women. And yeah, you know, it's not just about us, it's about you too. And so in order to make it happen, it's got to be all of us.